You. Ladies and gentlemen, today I want to speak the truth most people avoid, the truth that can transform your entire life if you're brave enough to hear it. You have goals, dreams, visions, and desires. You want success, you want progress, you want a better life. But the real question is, why are you still not reaching your goals? And the real reason is not what you think. It's not because you're not talented. It's not because you're not capable. It's not because you're unlucky. It's not because life is unfair. The real reason you're not reaching your goals is because you haven't committed yourself fully to the process. You want results, but you don't want the routine. You want success, but you resist the sacrifices. You want change, but you keep repeating the same patterns. Most people don't fail because of lack of ability. They fail because of lack of consistency. They start strong, get excited for a few days, and then disappear when things get hard, slow, or boring. The truth is this success is built in boredom, not excitement. Reaching your goals requires doing the things you said you would do long after the mood has left you. But there's another hidden reason. You're waiting for motivation. You think you'll work when you feel like it, but motivation is unstable. Goals are not reached through feelings, they are reached through discipline. Discipline means showing up even when you're tired, frustrated, or uninspired. Discipline means doing the work because your future matters more than your comfort. The real reason you're not reaching your goals is also because your environment is not aligned with the person you want to become. You're surrounded by distractions, not direction. You spend more time scrolling than building. You let people pull you into negativity, laziness, and doubt. You can't become your best self while staying in a place that encourages your worst habits. Your goals don't fail because they're too big. They fail because your systems are too small. Goals need structure. Goals need daily steps. Goals need tracking, reflection, and adjustment. Without a system, even the strongest desire dies out. And let's be honest, many people quit way too early. They want fast success, instant results, and immediate rewards. But real success is slow, steady, and silent. It requires patience. It requires trust. It requires the belief that your daily efforts will eventually bloom into something extraordinary. So today, remind yourself you can reach your goals. You are capable. You have the strength. But your future will only change when your actions change. Not once, not twice, but every single day. The real reason you're not reaching your goals is because you're still holding back. The moment you commit fully, the moment you choose discipline over comfort, the moment you protect your environment, and the moment you stop quitting early, that's the moment your goals will start coming to life. Your success is waiting. The question is, are you ready to show up for it? Success rarely belongs to the most talented person in the room. It belongs to the one who shows up every single day, even when it feels difficult, boring, or slow. The truth is simple but uncomfortable. Your lack of progress is not because you don't have the talent, intelligence, or capability. It is because you struggle to remain consistent with the actions that lead to growth, excellence, and achievement. Talent may give you a head start, but consistency is what takes you to the finish line. Many people underestimate the power of small, repeated habits. They wait for big results, but they forget that big results come from small steps taken over and over with discipline and dedication. You may have an extraordinary dream, a unique idea, or exceptional potential, but if your effort comes only in sudden bursts, you will constantly find yourself stuck in the same place. Success is not built on occasional greatness, it is built on daily commitment. The world is full of talented individuals who never fulfilled their potential. Not because they lacked skill, but because they lacked consistency. They worked hard for a week, then stopped. They set goals, but didn't follow through. They dreamed big, but acted small. They let excuses overpower discipline, and they let moods decide their actions. Talent without consistency becomes wasted potential. But even average talent, when applied consistently, can create extraordinary outcomes. Consistency is the quiet engine behind every achievement. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't demand attention, and it doesn't give instant results. It works silently, building strength, sharpening skills, and creating momentum day by day. When you show up consistently, you build habits that eventually work for you instead of against you. Your mind becomes more focused, your actions become automatic, and your discipline becomes unshakable. But consistency requires honesty, the honesty to acknowledge where you are falling short. Many people avoid consistency because it requires commitment, patience, and sacrifice. It requires showing up when you are tired, discouraged, or uninspired. It requires doing the work even when results are not visible. That is why so many choose talent over effort, hoping it'll be enough. But talent without discipline collapses under pressure, while consistency builds strength that lasts. Think about the people who achieve greatness. They were not always the most gifted. They were the ones who practiced daily, improved slowly, and trusted the process even when it felt slow. They understood that progress lives in repetition. They knew that success rewards those who keep going, not those who start strong and then disappear. Consistency also shapes your identity. When you show up every day, even for a few minutes, you start seeing yourself as someone who follows through. That self-belief becomes a powerful force. It pushes you to keep going, to stretch limits, and to push through barriers. On the other hand, inconsistency creates doubt. It weakens confidence and makes every new beginning feel harder than the last. So remind yourself today, you are not behind because you lack talent. You are behind because you stop too often. Your dreams are not out of reach, your consistency is. The moment you choose daily action over occasional effort, everything in your life begins to shift. Commit to small steps. Commit to daily improvement. Commit to the journey even when it feels slow. Because the truth is unchanging. Talent may open the door, but consistency is what keeps you moving forward. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their goals is because they are waiting for motivation, waiting to feel ready, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting for the spark that makes everything suddenly easy. But motivation is unpredictable. It comes and goes like the weather. It is inconsistent, emotional, and temporary. If your progress depends on motivation alone, then your success will always stay unstable. The truth is simpler. You don't need more motivation. You need more discipline. Motivation may help you start, but discipline is what keeps you going when your excitement fades. And the reality is that most days you won't feel like working, studying, or getting up early. You won't feel like pushing yourself, sacrificing comfort, or choosing effort over ease. That is exactly why discipline matters. Discipline means you do what needs to be done even when you don't feel like doing it. It means your actions are guided by purpose, not by mood. But too many people believe they must wait until they feel good or feel inspired before taking action. They tell themselves, I'll start when I'm ready, I'll begin when I feel motivated, or I'll change when things calm down. This mindset traps them in a cycle of delay and disappointment. Meanwhile, the people who succeed are not more motivated, They're more disciplined. They commit to the process, not the feeling. They show up on the days when they are tired, bored, uninspired, or uncomfortable. And that is exactly why they win you. Discipline is not a natural gift, it is a trained skill. It grows every time you push yourself beyond your excuses. It strengthens every time you choose action over laziness. Discipline is built in the small decisions, waking up when the alarm rings, working when you feel distracted, practicing when no one is cheering, and staying committed when no one is watching you. Waiting for motivations is like waiting for perfect weather before you leave your house. You'll end up going nowhere. Discipline, on the other hand, is like having a reliable vehicle that moves you forward no matter what the weather looks like. It doesn't depend on excitement, it depends on commitment. And commitment is far more powerful than any inspirational feeling you can chase. The truth is that motivation feels good, but discipline feels right. Motivation gives you a short burst of energy, but discipline gives you long-term results. Motivation is emotional, discipline is logical. Motivation asks, do I feel like it? Discipline says, it's time to do it anyway. Many people never achieve their goals simply because they confuse feelings with commitment. They think goals should feel exciting every day. They think the journey should always be inspiring. But success requires work, hard work, consistent work, daily work. And real work often feels uncomfortable. That discomfort is not a sign to stop. It is a sign to grow. Once you stop waiting for motivation and start building discipline, your entire life shifts. You begin to trust yourself. You begin to follow through. You begin to see progress that once felt impossible. Discipline becomes your strength, your identity, and your advantage. So stop waiting for inspiration. Stop waiting for the perfect moment. Stop waiting for the feeling. The only way to move forward is by choosing discipline today, tomorrow, and every day after that. Because in the end, motivation may fade, but discipline builds the future you dream of. Your environment is not supporting your growth. One of the most overlooked reasons people fail to grow, improve, and reach their goals is the environment they live in. Your environment shapes your mindset, your habits, your actions, and ultimately your future. Even the strongest passion, the biggest dream, or the highest talent can be destroyed by a weak environment. You cannot grow in a place that constantly pulls you backward. You cannot evolve while standing in a space that keeps you stuck in old patterns. And you cannot level up your life while surrounding yourself with people, routines, and distractions that work against your progress. Your environment is not just the physical place you live in. It is also the people you spend time with, the conversations you allow, the content you consume, the energy you absorb, and the habits you see every day. Whether you realize it or not, your environment is always teaching you something. It is either teaching you discipline or teaching you distraction, teaching you growth or teaching you excuses, teaching you confidence or feeding your doubt. Many people blame themselves for not growing, but they forget to examine the space around them. You cannot stay focused if everything around you is chaotic. You cannot stay motivated if everyone around you complains or criticizes. You cannot build discipline if your daily environment encourages laziness, negativity, or comfort. Growth requires a certain kind of atmosphere, one that supports your goals, reinforces your habits, and strengthens your mindset. Think about the people you surround yourself with. Are they pushing you forward or pulling you backward? Are they lifting your energy or draining it? Are they motivating you or distracting you? The people in your life either become your anchors or your wings. If your environment is filled with negativity, gossip, laziness, and lack of ambition, then your growth will always be limited. You become like the energy you consistently absorb. Your environment also includes your daily habits, the things around you that make your routines easy or difficult. If your workspace is cluttered, your mind becomes cluttered. If your phone is filled with distractions, your focus disappears. If your home encourages comfort over productivity, your goals will always stay unfinished. Successful people don't rely on willpower alone. They design environments that make good habits simpler and bad habits harder. Your growth is deeply connected to what you allow into your life. The books you read, the videos you watch, the conversations you entertain, and the lifestyle you maintain all shape your identity. You cannot expect your mind to rise while surrounding yourself with low-level influences. You cannot expect discipline if everything around you tempts you to escape responsibility. You cannot expect confidence if you stay in an environment that constantly triggers self-doubt. Sometimes the environment holding you back is not a person or place. It's a pattern, a routine that lacks structure, a room that lacks order, a lifestyle that lacks direction. Growth requires intention. You must intentionally choose what influences your thoughts, what enters your mind, and what surrounds your daily life. Changing your environment does not always mean moving cities or cutting everyone off. It means redesigning your space, protecting your energy, limiting negative influences, and choosing surroundings that strengthen your purpose. It means choosing people who push you, habits that improve you, routines that support you, and places that inspire you. Your environment has the power to make you or break you. If it does not support your growth, it will limit it. If it does not match your goals, it will block them. And if it does not align with who you want to become, it will keep you stuck where you are. So take control of your surroundings. Build an environment that matches your future, not your past. Because the moment your environment begins to support your growth, your life begins to transform. One of the biggest reasons people fail to reach their goals is not the goal itself, but the lack of a clear daily system to achieve it. Setting a goal is easy. Writing it down, imagining it, dreaming about it, but building the daily structure required to make it real is where most people fall short. A goal without a system is nothing more than a wish. It has no direction, no strategy, and no guarantee of survival. And that is why most goals die long before they come to life. When you set a goal, you create a destination. But without a system, you have no roadmap. You know where you want to go, but you have no idea how to get there. This creates confusion, inconsistency, lack of focus, and eventually frustration. Many people call themselves failures when in reality, they never gave their goals the structure they needed to grow. A daily system is the set of habits, routines, actions, and behaviors you perform consistently, the small steps that pull you closer to your goal every single day. Systems turn your dreams into processes. They break big goals into manageable parts. They remove guesswork and replace it with direction. They create momentum even on days when you don't feel motivated. Think about it. If your goal is to get fit, but you have no consistent workout schedule, you will not progress. If your goal is to study more, but you don't have a daily study routine, nothing will change. If your goal is to start a business, but you don't have a daily work plan, that dream will stay on paper. Goals need systems the same way seeds need soil. Without the right environment, nothing grows. Many people set goals with excitement but fail to follow through because their goals are too vague. They say things like, I want to lose weight, I want to save money, or I want to improve my life. but they never define the daily actions required. Without clarity, there can be no consistency. And without consistency, there can be no progress. Systems create clarity. When you know exactly what to do each day, you don't waste time thinking, planning, or hesitating. You simply do the work. Your brain needs structure because structure reduces resistance. If your system is strong, even low, motivation days become productive. But if you rely on motivation alone, your progress becomes unpredictable and unstable. A clear system also protects you from distractions. When your daily routine is planned, distractions have less power over you. You know what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. This gives you control over your time, your energy, and your focus. Another important truth is this: systems build identity. When you follow a daily process, you begin to see yourself as someone who takes action, someone who follows through, someone who is capable of achieving what they once thought was impossible. This identity shift is the real foundation of long-term success. The lack of a daily system also creates a psychological problem. You keep restarting. You work hard for a few days, lose track, and then begin again. This constant cycle of starting and stopping destroys momentum. Momentum is the fuel of success, and systems are what keep that momentum alive. Remember, goals are results. Systems are actions. And actions are the only thing within your control. You cannot control how fast you achieve the goal, but you can control what you do each day. That is where your true power lies. So stop relying only on dreams, inspiration, and excitement. Build a system. Design your days with intention. Break your goals into daily steps. Create routines that support your vision. Protect your progress with structure, because in the end, you don't rise to the level of your goals. You fall to the level of your systems. One of the most damaging habits that holds people back from reaching their goals is the expectation of quick success. We live in a world that promotes instant results, instant entertainment, instant answers, instant satisfaction. Because of this, many people unconsciously believe that success should also be instant. They think that after a few days of hard work, major change will appear. They expect progress to be quick, smooth, and obvious. And when it doesn't happen immediately, they feel discouraged, assume they are failing, and often quit long before results have the chance to show up. But the truth is unchanging. Great things take time. Growth is slow. Change is uncomfortable. Success is built in quiet, unseen periods of commitment. Nothing meaningful in life comes instantly. The gym doesn't give you results in a week. A business doesn't grow overnight. Skills don't develop in a few sessions. Confidence doesn't appear suddenly. Everything in life requires patience, repetition, and long-term effort. But most people quit too early to experience the breakthrough. Quitting early is not a sign of weakness. It's often a sign of unrealistic expectations. When you expect fast progress, every small challenge feels like failure. Every slow day feels like defeat. Every obstacle feels personal. This mindset kills dreams. Because the moment things slow down, and they always do, you stop believing in the process. You stop trusting your effort. You stop giving yourself the chance to grow. Success is never a straight line. It is filled with plateaus, delays, disappointments, and moments where nothing seems to be working. But these phases are part of the journey, not the end of it. Most progress happens silently, beneath the surface, before anyone sees visible results. Just like a seed takes time to break through the soil, your efforts take time to show their fruits. If you quit too early, you never get to experience the transformation that was waiting for you. People who achieve their goals are not more talented. They are more patient. They understand that temporary lack of results does not mean lack of progress. They know that every day of effort counts, even when it feels invisible. They trust the process instead of rushing it. They understand that slow progress is still progress and consistency is far more important than speed. Expecting fast results also creates emotional instability. You begin the journey excited, but when quick results don't appear, your excitement turns into disappointment. Disappointment turns into doubt. Doubt turns into excuses. And excuses turn into quitting. This emotional roller coaster keeps you stuck in the cycle of starting over again and again. You never build momentum because you never stay long enough to let momentum form. The real winners in life are the ones who stay committed after the excitement wears off. They show up when it's boring. They keep going when it's slow. They push themselves when no one is watching. They understand that great outcomes require great patience. They don't chase speed, they chase consistency. You must also realize that expecting fast results puts unnecessary pressure on your journey. It makes every setback feel like a disaster. It makes every mistake feel fatal. But when you shift your mindset to long-term growth, setbacks become lessons. Mistakes become guidance. Delays become part of the story, not the end of it. So remind yourself today, you are not failing. You are simply judging your progress too early. Success is not instant, it is earned through persistence. But every day you stay committed is a step closer to the breakthrough you cannot yet see. Your results are coming, but only if you stay long enough to receive them. Stop expecting speed. Start respecting the process. Stay patient. Stay committed. And most importantly, don't quit before your success has the chance to show up. In the end, the truth about achieving your goals is far simpler and far harder than most people want to admit. It's not a lack of talent, luck, or opportunity that holds you back. It's the invisible habits you repeat daily, the excuses you entertain quietly, and the limits you accept without questioning. Real growth begins when you stop chasing perfection and start embracing consistency. When you stop waiting for motivation and start creating discipline. When you stop blaming your environment and begin shaping it intentionally. When you stop setting grand dreams without building small, daily systems. And most importantly, when you stop quitting right before success is ready to meet you. Your goals are not unreachable. They are simply waiting for the version of you who refuses to give up. The version of you who shows up even on the hard days, who chooses long-term vision over short-term comfort, who builds habits instead of relying on emotions, and who trusts the process even when the results are not visible yet. Remember, this success is not a moment of miracle or a lucky break. It is a slow accumulation of disciplined actions, repeated consistently, fueled by purpose, reinforced by environment, and protected by patience. If you are willing to do what most people avoid, show up daily, stay focused, adapt your environment, follow your systems, and persist beyond frustration, then your goals will stop being dreams and start becoming your reality. Your life will shift the moment you shift your habits. Your future will change the moment you change your daily choices. And your success will arrive the moment you decide you will no longer quit. You are not failing. You are simply still becoming the person who succeeds.